is Tuesday, so it's time for another pregnancy update. And today I go into my 24th week of pregnancy, so this is going to be my 23-week update. And I actually am filming this clip before I'm filming the intro that you just saw, so I'm not sure what I was coloring in there, but I know that Theo is about the size, or the length I should say, of a chinchilla or a Barbie, so it's probably going to be one of those. That's about 30 centimeters long, which I don't know, it sounds so big to me. It sounds so long. Like Tyrion was about 47 or 48 centimeters. They actually forgot to measure him when he was born. They did it a couple of days later, but 47 or 48. And Theo is already 30. It's kind of, I don't know, it's weird to think about. Last week I did kind of a special update with Tyrion in it because I felt like I didn't have a lot to talk about the pregnancy. This week is different. I have a few things that I want to talk about, and I probably will be talking about them at length. So I'm just gonna let this take the time that it takes. And as you can see behind me, I have Duva here. She wanted to be with me, so she's in the background. So she's my guest star for this episode, I guess. Let's just go into symptoms right away. I pretty much have the same symptoms as normal, but like I said last week, heartburn is definitely coming on strong now. And this week it's been also, I don't know if it is heartburn, if it's the same thing, or if these are two different things, but I do feel like I vomit in my mouth a lot, especially when I bend down or bend over or whatever. I just get that puke taste in my mouth, and it's not nice. It's awful. So I think I've kind of learned throughout the past week to not bend over very much and just, I don't know, leave things like that to Michael when he's around. And also, as you've seen in the vlogs, I let Tyrion help me a lot. So instead of picking groceries from the floor or from bags on the floor, Tyrion gets to hand them to me, which works fine because he likes to help as well. So yeah, that's definitely a new, not so fun thing. I also feel like I have a lot of general pain in my body. I think I said this last week as well. I don't know, it's painful to lie down, it's painful to stand up. And I read on one of my pregnancy apps that this is the perfect time in the pregnancy. You're not big enough or uncomfortable enough to bend over or do things. And I'm like, no, I'm definitely big enough to be uncomfortable. The last symptom that I wanted to go into is going to be kind of a long backstory thing. Basically, my dizzy spells are back. I had them a few weeks ago, and I do I have to be careful about standing up too quickly and that sort of thing, just because I have low blood pressure, and I definitely feel it every time when I don't think about it. But this is a specific occasion that I'm going to talk about, and this was on Friday. It was in the morning. I was on my way to university, and I was sitting down. First off, I was sitting down on the train. I was listening to a podcast, and I think that this might have something to do with it, but I'm not sure. So I just ask if anyone who's watching this has any insight or experience with this. Let me know if you have anything that could enlighten me, because I think that this podcast might have actually been the reason I got dizzy and felt like I was gonna faint. So I'm gonna keep talking and get into it, because you have no idea what I'm talking about. I was listening to a podcast about giving birth. It is actually a podcast that's being it's being created by the hospital where I hope that I'll be giving birth, which is kind of cool. They have guests on each episode that actually work at the delivery ward, I guess, at the hospital. So it's very informative, and there's no mumbo jumbo, just pure science and their experiences from working with deliveries for a long time. So I think it's very good, informative podcast. If I have any Swedish viewers or Swedish speaking viewers who want to check it out, it is födabarnpodden.se. And it's very good. But this episode that I was listening to on Friday was one that I was not looking forward to listening to. It was about tearing down there during delivery and like ruptures and stuff, and that's something that I'm very scared of, and kind of like irrationally, like I don't even want to think about it because it makes me cringe, and I just don't think about it. But I thought that if I am gonna get like information about this from somewhere, it's probably good to do it here, not like read people's horrible birth stories or whatever, but just like info, proper info. So I decided I'm gonna listen to this episode, and then I'm maybe never gonna think about it again, but I want the information. And I started listening, and it was fine, and it got kind of scary, and I got like, I didn't want to listen, but I kept listening. I got a bit nauseous, and then I started feeling like I was gonna faint. And like I said, I was sitting down, but I paused the podcast and just, I think, listened to something else, listened to some music or something to kind of just distract myself, because I was both nauseous and very dizzy. And it kind of went away, or it did go away. So I finished my train ride. I got off the train, I went to the bus stop, and I sat down at the bus stop, and I had to wait for like 15 minutes for the next bus. So I was like, well, I'll keep listening to the podcast. Didn't think much about it. Kept listening, got nauseous again, got dizzy again when they started talking about like sphincter ruptures and stuff. And this time it got, I think, even closer to an actual like fainting. Actually fainting. I did get like, what do you say? I'm not sure what it's called in English, but kind of got black in front of my eyes and stuff. I started seeing black, I guess. But as I said, I was sitting down still this time too. But when that happened, I paused the podcast right away, and I put my head between my legs, and I started breathing very like deeply, because I was outside, so there was like fresh air, and that was very nice. And so it was just a very strange experience, and I'm not sure what to think about it. I actually did call the midwives today. I didn't talk to my midwife, she wasn't like on the phone, but to another one of them. I talked to another one of them, and she said that there's not much we can do. I didn't mention the podcast because I feel kind of silly thinking that it's like a psychological thing, because I don't even know if that can happen, or if that's just kind of an urban legend that you can scare someone into fainting or whatever. So I don't know, it might just have been a coincidence with the podcast, but either way, the midwife said that there's not much you can do. Just make sure you drink a lot, put your feet up. If you can, when you have the dizzy spells, lie down. My dog is being very annoying right now. Yeah, but she said that if you actually faint, or if you start having these dizzy spells more often, then call us again. Because, I mean, this probably does have to do with my low blood pressure, but we just need to make sure that it doesn't go too low. So yeah, that was another symptom that was not very fun and took a very long time to talk about just now, so I'm gonna move on. I just realized that I've been filming for 10 minutes. But I said that I was gonna let everything take the time that it takes, so yeah, let's do that. Moving on from symptoms, I wanted to show you a bit of a clip from, or a bit of a clip. I wanted to show you a clip that I got today of Theo kicking inside my belly. I have a clip from last week that you can check out in one of the regular vlogs, but today I feel like the movements were more distinct, kind of like the ones that make your entire belly start to wobble. So I'll put that in right here. It's just so fun to be able to see the kicks from outside, and for Michael and Tyrion to be able to feel them. It's awesome, and Theo is still very active. He kicks like probably at least 5 or 6, not like 5 or 6 kicks, about 5 or 6 times throughout the day, if not more. He always starts kicking at night or in the evening when I lie down in the bed. But also if I'm sitting on the train, he might do it, or if I'm just sitting and leaning over a bit so that my tummy gets kind of squished, he usually gets going. Or if I'm drinking something very cold or eating something very sugary, which I shouldn't, then he usually gets going. And on the topic of something sugary, I weighed myself this morning and I have again gained almost 1 kilo, which is about 2 pounds a week for the past 2 weeks. So I really do need to start moving more, and I think even more importantly, pay attention to what I eat. It's been a lot of Ben & Jerry's lately and takeout and that kind of stuff, and I need to make sure that we start having better and I say we because Michael is kind of with me on this train, so when I want chips, he has chips, and so on. So yeah, we need to start paying more attention, because I don't want to have lots of extra weight on me when I deliver, because that's not good, and also I don't want to have lots and lots and lots of weight to get rid of after Theo is here. I want the weight that I gain to be for Theo and for the good of Theo. So obviously it's not like I want to lose weight, but I don't want to gain too much. I think you know what I mean. But yeah, that's the weight issue. We'll see if I weigh myself next week or if I just kind of don't for a few weeks, because I don't want to get worked up about it either. So yeah, but that's the weight for now. Baby buys this week is kind of exciting. We got our stroller this week. We actually ordered it a few weeks ago, so I have talked about it before, but now it's in our house. The only problem is, just to be sure, we don't want to take it out of the boxes just yet, or actually until Theo is here, just because if something happens and we don't actually get to take Theo home, something goes, like worst case scenario, horribly wrong, then you can return the stroller if it's not used. And I figure, sure, we could take it out of the boxes and put it together, but it's gonna be so hard not to use it with Tyrion. So yeah, we're not gonna take it out of the boxes. I think we're just gonna leave it in there. But it's in our house, we have paid for it, and that's a very good feeling. We also got the car seat, and we're definitely gonna take that out sooner, because we want the car seat in the car when we go to the delivery room, obviously. And also with the car seat, we got this kind of like, let's see if I can see what it's called. I did write it down. Installation base that you put in the car, and we're just hoping that it's gonna fit into our car, because I guess it's different for different models. Apparently what it is, it's like a base that you put into the car, and then when you go to put the car seat in the car, you don't have to actually strap it in with the belt and everything. You just put it in the base, and then it's like locked in there, and that would be awesome if that works, because I remember what a hassle it was to strap the entire seat in, especially when the baby's asleep, and just to do it carefully so they don't wake up and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Not sure when we're gonna try it out, but sometime soon or soonish. That's it for baby buys, and the last thing I wanted to talk about was actually my birth plan, which is something that I haven't really started working on or thinking too much about just yet, but I did get a question about it in the comments in last week's video. And I thought that I would kind of start to talk about what I'm thinking each week about the birth plan and different things that I want to put in my delivery letter, as they call it, at least here in Sweden. But today, because this video is already so long and because my battery light is flashing, I'm just saying this, that we're gonna start talking about it, but we'll actually start talking about it next week. So yeah, I think the only thing that's left is the belly shot.